Hello everyone, welcome back. Oh, my mic fell over. Don't judge my voice too hard because I woke up like an hour ago, but it's okay. So, today is December 1st. It is the first day of Regulation F, and I wanted to go over some teams that I think would do really well and some of the best teams in the format. So we'll start off with this standard bolt balance team, which was used in the most recent Victory Road tournament. So if you don't know what that is, the results page that hosts the results from all the tournaments hosts a tournament called Victory Road every once in a while, and oftentimes they do a format in advance. So for example, this actually took place November 15th, 16th. So that's about three weeks ago. I think it was Regulation F and not Regulation H because no one wants to play Regulation H, let's be real. Yeah, obviously we have this bolt balance. This is the common Calm Mind T-Clap Dragon Pulse Bolt. It's Terra Fairy. I think the most interesting thing about this team is that the Ogre Pawn is actually Swords Dance as well. So that allows you to have a separate setup option just in case the bolt isn't as good. Obviously you have a standard Urshifu. This one has Ice Spinner. But there's also Landorus. I think Landorus is a really key piece on this team because it's really nice to be able to hit opposing Raging Bolt. If they Terra, you hit them with a Sludge Bomb. If they don't, you hit them with Earth Power. So Landorus really does give you a lot of power there in terms of the mirror match. There's also this Incin, which is probably relatively fast. The idea being you can taunt, if you train your Incin well enough, you can taunt other Raging Bolt before they attack, and what that does is it allows you to actually stop other Bolt Balance teams. So you can lead something like Incin Bolt, and then if they lead Rilla Incin or Rilla Bolt or whatever, you can Terra Ghost or Incin and just taunt their bolts, and then all of a sudden you're in a really good position there. But the Lando is also a piece that you need to play towards in that matchup as well, because if you Terra your Ghost or Incin, then the Lando can hit your bolt. So there's a lot of interesting things about the mirror match, but this is the team to beat. This is the best team that people are using right now. Okay, so then we got Porygon 2 Ursaluna. Now this team is a little bit interesting because it has been performing well. I think it won a UIC, but it's really similar to the Flamigo stuff that we've been seeing, except instead of Flamigo there's an Urshifu, and instead of something else there's a Fluttermane. Instead of Kilowattrel there's a Fluttermane. It plays very similarly to the other kind of P2 Ursa teams. It's just good team. It's just you have 6 strong Pokemon that all do things, and you just kill people. You just literally, that's what you do. You just have 6 Pokemon, you play better than your opponent, you're good to go. I think the Porygon 2 is interesting because obviously it was very strong during Regulation H when the power level was a bit lower, but P2 is so bulky that it can still hold up even in a format with Pokemon like Raging Bolt and Pokemon like Urshifu. So Porygon 2 is really good. So this is another team from VR. So this is the first, second, and third team from VR that we're looking at so far. This is a Ting Dozo team, which is interesting because this archetype has kind of been looked at relatively well throughout the format. People have been using it. This is the idea with this is you would lead Tinglu Dozo, and you have Yawn Sandtomb. So you'd Yawn, which can't miss, and then you would Sandtomb, which is 85% accurate, but if you hit both of them, then you lock your target in with Sandtomb and you put them to sleep. And the thing is with this Dondozo Tinglu combo is Tinglu is Vessel of Ruin, so you're lowering other Pokemon's special attack. And if you look at Dondozo, its special defense is not super great, but its physical and HP are really great. So what ends up happening is you make this Dondozo really hard to KO, especially with the Grass Terra. You can't really put it to sleep, you can't really slow it down. It's really difficult to knock out. And you also have the Rocky Helmet here, so you disincentivize Urshifu from Surging Strikes on you because you have Terra Poison. So if they do that, they're not doing that much, you can put them to sleep. I think people also underestimate Tinglu's defense. This is a good defense stat. If you're using Body Press, you're doing good damage, on top of Sandtomb also doing damage. Plus you have Dondozo's Wave Crash and Heavy Slam, which is base 100, so even if you're not investing that much, you're still hitting things and you're still doing a pretty decent amount of damage there. Then you also have the Pow Knight, which has been historically been good, except this one is not the Terra Normal Choice Band that we've seen before. It's actually a Loaded Dice Scale Shot Iron Head set. Now Iron Head might seem a little bit strange on this team because in the last format they had Haze, E-Speed, Scale Shot is what they ran. So why don't we have Haze? Well, Dondozo, with Tatsugiri, is not as popular in this format. Plus you have pieces like the Dozo Tinglu, which can honestly probably take down Dondozo if you position it right, and the Gouging Fire. So what you can do is you can lead Gouging Fire Dragonite if you don't feel like using Ting Dozo, and you can Scale Shot and Howl, But then you're faster, like after 2 scale shots, will be faster than other Flutter Mane, even with booster energy. So you can Terra Steel Iron Head and just drop the other Flutter Manes, which is great because like obviously Tinglu's weak to Flutter Mane, Chen Pao's weak to Flutter Mane. Goldengo, like if they have Shadow Ball, will die if you don't have Terra. Gouging takes like a decent amount of damage. So Flutter Mane can really do a lot of damage to this team, and this team's whole thing is to not take a lot of damage. That's kind of what the Terra Steel is for. It's mostly for dealing with Flutter Mane. The Goldengo here is the only fast piece you have on the team. Well, I guess you could make an argument that Chen Pao is fast, but Goldengo has the choice specs to boost its attack, or special attack, so it's killing stuff. Like, it's actually doing good damage. You have the Terra Fairy D-Gleam as well, just to get that fairy damage, but essentially, if you feel like you need a faster damage option, you can always have, like, a Goldengo just to nuke stuff with Make It Rain, or do some damage with Shadow Ball or whatnot. And the Chen Pao is it's a pretty standard Pao. It's stellar because, like, obviously this team's damage output may not be the greatest compared to other teams, but you have the Gouging Fire to help with it. I mean, there's a standard Gouging Fire, Howl, Heat Crash, Breaker's Light. It's pretty standard. Okay, so now we are moving on to Orlando, which is the most recent regional of this format. This is a Regidrago Iron Crown team. I actually made a video about this team, or it's like Iron Crown a couple days ago, like 2 weeks ago. Basically, the idea with this team is you hit hard, you hit fast. You have this E-Force Iron Crown with boost energy. And Iron Crown, if you look, is actually like not so slow, where if you have that boost energy, you're outspeeding the Choice Scarf Urshifus and you're taking them out with the E-Force. You have this in DD, you also have the Regidrago, so it makes like a nice fantasy core where you have the Fairy from Indeedee, the Steel from Iron Crown, and the Dragon from Regidrago. Plus you have just a Hearth Flame to just nuke stuff with Tailwind. And then you have like Urshifu with Rain Dance. So there's just a lot of really offensive options on this team, which really allow you to take control of the game. I think like if you're more interested in this team, watch the video in the cards, please. And I've kind of already been over this on the channel, so we'll move past it. Okay, now this is the team that Wolfie used to win Orlando. I think he posted his team online, but I didn't grab it. I can probably find it somewhere, but it's okay. So basically, the point of this team is kind of similar to the P2 Ursa stuff, where it's just you have 6 good Pokemon that do 6 good Pokemon things. This is a special attack boosting Flutter, so you have a Flutter Mane that can do more damage than other Flutters. You have like an Amoonguss to support your team. You have the double Genie's core, which has historically been good. Then you have the Surging Strikes. Urshifu under Rain. The point of this team is just to give you tools to play better than your opponent. Like, if you're playing better than your opponent, with this team you will win most of the time, unless like it's some obscenely bad matchup, but the vast majority of the time this team just allows you to play better than your opponents and win. So it's a really strong team if that's what you're looking for. It kind of struggles into Trick Room a little bit because you don't have the best options. Like, yeah, sure, you have Instant Amoonguss, but the rest of the team is relatively fast, and they're also not so bulky, where Trick Room can kind of prove to be a little bit of a nuisance. Speaking of Trick Room, that is what is next. We have Hard Trick Room. Every format is going to have a Hard Trick Room team. This is the Hard Trick Room team for this format. I actually played against Ben, who got top 4 at this event, in the event, and he told me after, or maybe he posted it, I don't remember exactly which one, but this Clear Amulet actually doesn't do anything. Basically, the logic with it is Magic Bounce. It blocks status moves. So what people would do is you could Parting Shot the Hatterene, and then you would get the stat boot, like the stat drop, but then the Hatterene would swap out. So Ben was like, okay, well, if I put Clear Amulet on, I can take advantage of open team sheets because no one's gonna click Parting Shot because they assume that the Clear Amulet would stop it and they just waste their move. But it's actually not the case, and it actually does not work like that. So if you Parting Shot this Hatterene, according to Ben, nothing, like it'll do the same thing as if it had no item. So I think it's kind of funny that this Clear Amulet literally does nothing, but people just don't know and they just don't click Parting Shot, because that might have actually helped me in my game if I had known that, but it's okay. Apart from that, we have the Decorate Smeargle, which is like pretty standard. And I think what they do is they lead like Smeargle Fraygraph, and like if they feel like they can get Trick Room up with just Fraygraph, they like decorate the Fraygraph and click Trick Room. Then obviously they have the Torkoal, they have the Indeedee in the back, they have the Urshifu, like they just have so many strong damage options under Trick Room. Like, you're gonna get absolutely obliterated if you don't have the tools or experience to beat this team. The only kind of weakness of this team is that it plays very linearly, so like they'll do the same thing almost every time, which for the players who maybe have a bit more experience with the game, it's kind of a little bit easier to predict them and to actually like play against this team because you know exactly what they're going to do. It doesn't make it any less scary because I'm still like absolutely frightened of this team. I've played it like 100 times at least. This team is frightening because it's like, yeah, sure, every single game is pretty much goes the same way. So if you have a consistent line, you're winning every time. But there's still, like, often it's a lot of 50-50s involved. So it's not like a guaranteed win. It's more so just like if you play better, you'll win. But it's a little bit easier to make those predictions because these teams have to play so linearly. That's it for the best teams of the format. Let me know if you guys have anything you want to see in the comments. I don't know what I'm going to do for tomorrow's video, but I'll figure that out tomorrow. All right, thank you guys. Goodbye.